So this is draw half. You draw a top. One person draws a top, one person draws a bottom, and you don't know what the other person is drawing. And then when you're finished, you create something new, and you can flip through all your old stuff and make new stuff. So I'm going to do one of these. And then, so yeah, you give me like a squiggle or like one of those blob monster things.
Oh, so you can make something out of that?
Yeah, and then we'll swap.
I don't know. I've always had trouble drawing faces and facial structures and whatnot. With the bottom, you can just do like, I don't know, be an octopus or something like that.
What if I just draw top half of a chair?
That's true. I mean, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, I remember. This is one of those weird, not weird, but like a lot of people have like these big dreams, like that are very obviously big. Like, oh, heck, he's gonna be in the NFL, and like that's how you're gonna feed your family, you're gonna make money, what have you. And I've had these weird, like book ideas. Like this is 8 years ago. I have pictures of you like drawing in like the first edition of this book, and like thinking, that's gonna be my ticket to the future. And it's like, I don't know.
It could have been, though.
I don't want to call it lame, but it's like this pretty low stakes. Like, I don't know, these big dreams of mine. All right, then you finish your drawing, just like I have there, with whatever the heck that is. And then flip a page, hand it up to your partner, and they draw the bottom.
And finish my tree.
Ooh. Did you take art class?
I did, yeah.
More than you had to, and were they required stuff?
I took art 1, somewhat enjoyed it, and then I took art 2, and my art teacher said, I don't recommend you take art 3.
Oh my god.
Said, unless you're really serious about this and it's one of your passions, I don't recommend you come back for art 3 because it's a big commitment. I had other interests. Like, I've never been one that I want to draw, I want to do it. Like, it's cool, and I can appreciate it, and I have friends who are into painting and drawing, but it's never been my niche or anything like that.
Sure.
When I was in high school, I did the video stuff. I was in the morning announcements group and the production crew. We did the live streams for the sporting events and stuff like that.
Yeah. There he is. We drew that. There he is. How about that?
Your squiggly line is on the other page there.
Oh, yeah. You gotta do that, too.
Yeah, if you're ready to see this boy.
Reveal to camera, and then get my reaction. Ooh, nice. I like it. Well, we both went with something hairy.
It kind of worked out, I guess. Man, that was, I had a little trouble there drawing the skateboard wheels. I'm not good at depth.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you were going for it. See, that's what I appreciate about you. You didn't just cop out, just do these boys. Yeah. You tried to show the fact that.
Tried. What's this guy got?
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Turned her. Come on, eh?
I thought you were gonna do a cat. I kind of saw a cat.
A little soccer player. He's got a little depth to him. His foot's further back. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Nice, man. See, so that's like that's a fun little game there.
I know. I like that too.
Gets you moving. Your skill level of something shouldn't take away your love for it. So I've had a lot of these naysayers, like people, like maybe I'm making up in my head about all these people, these things stacked up say you can't do it that way, you can't do this, that. But then drawing, I don't know, for me, it kind of goes around drawing in art class in a way of I always thought that I should have had success in art class, but I don't really think that I did. Like, there were so many more people that drew so much better, had better paintings, right? Because that's all you do. You paint clay and draw. But I've always felt more creative than those kids and people. Maybe that's ego or pride. You can help me figure that out. but
I think, I don't know. They were probably, I think there's a lot of people out there that are equally creative, but you kind of recognize it first. You kind of recognize all the suppression around everybody else that makes, that doesn't allow them to be as creative as they want to be.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, do you feel like you have an antagonist in your life? Do you feel like there's this monster or a dragon that you're constantly trying to slay?
Yeah, myself. Seriously, I that analogy of angel devil kind of thing. Lately, my attitude's been pretty consistent, but for some reason, the past week, I don't know if it's been like this upcoming trip throwing me off and just me wanting to like get out of here and have a break and whatnot. But sometimes I just have periods in my life where, like, I wake up and it's just like I'm either down here or up here. Down here, there's no level of consistency, which is what I'm searching for. And I've done pretty good, but still sometimes fall into this trap of inconsistency. So it's either really good or really bad. And man, those days where it's really bad, it's hard to pull myself out of that. But
Yes, sir. Been there. And but you do like a consistent thing every day. You're not like you're just talking about waking up and having this feeling. Then you go to work. You go to work the same way. You get ready the same exact way. You do.
oh yeah, like it doesn't bring me down to the point where I'm like, I can't do anything today. I'm not gonna associate with anybody, but it affects my attitude, and that affects pretty much every other choice and thing that you go through throughout the day is your attitude.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my dragon that I've been trying to slay. Is I don't know, sometimes I'm my own antagonist.
But do you think
Yeah.
that that's you waking up? Are you waking up and beating yourself up? Because
Like someone else is causing that.
what I'm saying is I don't mean to think. I think it's true that you have that. You have that. You're fighting internal, but just waking up and being like, "Huh, I don't know why I feel this." Ugh. Like, are you waking up and I shouldn't have done that last night. I should have got up earlier. I didn't. Are you waking up and doing that to yourself?
Both. Because I made a video about that, about being able to feel now, being able to, when you wake up and you recognize that you're not at 100% of your attitude isn't that well, being able to like really lock in on your feelings and why you feel like that, so that when you wake up tomorrow, you can have a changed perspective and just a better attitude. And kind of getting that feeling out of the way, because if you just compress it and hold it in, it can carry over, and that'll affect your daily life down the road. So being able to feel now, and it's just funny, like just talking about that, because that wasn't even the original question, but it's somehow tied into that, and
Yeah.
it seems like that happens a lot more than, I don't know, and it's not coincidental.
No, you're building bridges. Literally, like bridge workers are in your brain with like electric rope, and they're tying a new bridge, and a spark. Like
No, I know what you mean.
it's real. Like it's, I don't know. I feel like it's always been this cartoon, fake imagined thing. Like it's real. Like, and those bridges, those teeth or whatever they're connecting them can fall away, and you can get disassociated from memories and beliefs, and then you really have to rebuild that bridge. Like it's like I don't know. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because like that's a cool metaphor. Like it makes a lot of sense, but then it's like, no, it's
not a metaphor. Like it
not a
actually
metaphor.
happens. Yeah.
yeah. I'd love to get better and better at explaining that, because for
I think
me
you explained it pretty well.
that was one of my moments. And I when we're on a long car ride, I will probably say this exact same thing sometime over the next 5 days, because I get to I have like these go-to like mind blow things, mind blowing things, and that's one of them. Like, in a long car ride with Kels, and I'll talk about like synapses, like how the brain works and builds bridges. Like, no, but like it's real. Like, I know it sounds like no, but it's happening.
Oh man, no, I'm so like when it comes to stuff like that, I'm either all in or I'm like, man, I don't feel like thinking about this stuff right now. Seriously, like it all depends what mood you catch me in, because like sometimes I'll be willing to dive deep and go like as deep as you will ever want to go, and then there's sometimes where like my buddy will say something and I'm like, dude, shut up, like I don't even feel like talking about this right now.
My favorite.
But most times I end up getting roped in anyways. I have friends that are like conspiracy theorists and stuff like
Oh.
that. So when I mean dive deep, I mean like
Oh,
dive deep.
yeah. Well, but that's its own level of a brick wall you want to lay. I feel like personally, I'm like, where the heck were all you people 5 years ago when I was going through all this stuff in my head? And, like, truly. And then everyone is now involved in it, and it's now like not taboo to think of, well, maybe something, and things aren't the way that things are. And I'm not going to get into any of them because it's true. I personally have built not like a wall to them, but it's like you can't. I'm not gonna say you can't surprise me either, but like I've heard it all. Like I've seen all the things. I know what people. You can surmise. You can like run down the line and see. Well, if they believe that, then they likely this. And dude, moon landing's like okay. Like I know the full expression of all these things that people.
That's the thing is like I believe in a lot of that kind of stuff, and I used to dive in pretty deep myself. But then you get lost in all that stuff and kind of
Yes,
takes
you do.
away your focus from reality. And yeah, a lot of that stuff's going on. There's a lot of things that we don't know. There's a lot of things going on behind closed curtains. But at the end of the day, like, how am I going to affect any of that situation? I need to focus on myself. Like, I probably should watch more of the news just to stay caught up on things, but I don't watch the news.
I wouldn't know
If
what.
something's that important, it'll show up on like, I don't know, when I go on social media or something like that.
Sure. To me, it shows you where your focus is. Like, to me, if this conversation that we're having right now, by the end of it, doesn't weasel somewhere into faith or spirituality, be like that just wouldn't make sense to me because that's kind of like the undertone of my life and the conversation I like to have. Whereas when you're the conspiracy theorist person, you're like, oh yeah, Christian, yeah, sure, trust in God. But did you know they're trying to kill us? And it's like, correct. They are. They always have been, and they always will. And you figuring out their plan, what's that doing for you? Like, how's that helping you? How's it helping you, like, know so much about the people who are trying to hurt you, and then you don't know too much about the God who said he saves you and loves you. And it's like, where are you focusing your time, and where are you putting all that energy? And that was the exposure that I had to the whole situation, and even the phrase you said, like, and at the end of the day, like I couldn't even like say that phrase when you're in it, like, because you're stuck in the spiral, and you can't do this. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like it is your tether to reality. Is all of this worrying? Is all of this anxiety? Is all this like it is what you live on. You want the new nugget of information. You want the new, like, ooh, that scared me. Oh, like your body just gets so strung out. I've been there, dude.
That's funny you say that, because the few times that I have been online looking up stuff and conspiracies and whatnot, there's an ad that pops up and it's like, are you addicted to conspiracy theories?
Seriously?
Do you need therapy? Like, seriously, yeah. I'm like, wow, I never really, I don't know. It's easy to ignore addictions when you have absolutely no focus on them and they don't affect you in your life. Like gambling addictions, that's a real thing. Me, I hate wasting my money. Like I don't like gambling. I'll do it every once in a while. We go to the casino with our buddies and stuff, like twice a year or something like that. But there's people that will go every night. You have an extra $5, go play it on the slots or whatever.
Yeah, they will.
But
Yeah, I don't know much about that world, but I do know whatever it is, you can get stuck in it, and it doesn't go away until you want it to, until like you realize, oh, like you want a different life. You're like, yeah, this one's not serving me. And then it's its own version of withdrawal, whether it be, I think we always like associate that with like drugs or alcohol, but back to the neurons or whatever these are, the synapses. You have to those same tethers are associated to old habits, old triggers, old whatever. You have to rip
rewire
themselves.
it,
Yeah,
which takes a lot of time and dedication.
and I feel like that's what you're walking out on. Like I feel like that's what you're in, is the
Mm-hmm.
the rewiring and structuring.
There's been many times where basically throughout like the journey of my manhood, I guess you could say, whenever I started getting out there, being more independent, being more alone, and realizing I have to rely on myself more. That's kind of when that all started. Is like, man, I got to be able to rely on myself and be dependable to other people and to me. So all throughout college, that's what I was kind of saying before on the last episode was like I see memes about it all the time too, and it cracks me up. It's like men have 3 moods, and like
What's that?
I don't know. The first one's like in love, and the second one's like whatever, depressed, and then like the third one is always like doing push-ups at like 3 a.m. Like I'm gonna get my life together, like I'm gonna make a change.
No,
And,
this
like
is happening.
it always, yeah, exactly. And it's funny because that's usually when it does happen. You're laying in bed at night, and you're like, man, I gotta fix this, and like you
Tomorrow
just wanna
morning
start
when I
doing it
wake
right
up.
now. Yeah, but so I was doing that for a while, and man, that feeling you first get, like that fire, it's like it's so awesome. But
Yeah.
I just burnt myself out, being way too hard on myself, and I wasn't consistent with my habits, and I was trying to change too much too quick was my problem. So I did that for how long? Back and forth and back and forth.
You would say years.
Years, yeah. I'd say years, probably the better part of 3 years. 2024, yeah. And then this is just recent. I'd say within the past 5 months, I've been able to have a more consistent mindset about everything, and that rewiring process is what you're talking about. And even days like today where I woke up, just wasn't like today wasn't a special day. I slept in way too long. It was raining out all day. I didn't get any video stuff done. I didn't get anything done, basically. I just was chilling out. But I was able to recognize that, and, it doesn't make you feel good. So then you're like, well, I don't like feeling like this. So, maybe tomorrow when I wake up, we're going to do things a little bit differently to kind of pick up the pace. Instead of, man, I feel like a piece of crap right now. Like,
Might as well just try to hide that feeling
yeah.
under some hot dogs, run down to Sheets, slam some dirty gas station food down your fat mouth, and
Yeah, that's how you're talking to yourself pretty much. And I don't know, man. But I like where I'm at. It motivates me to wake up tomorrow. And I have a big day tomorrow. Caleb's already packed for the big trip, and I do not have a single thing. I don't even have a phone charger in a bag. Like, man.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen so many times how those random extra 2 or 3 hours with somebody, helping them work through their business, their problems, their stuff, comes back 5 years later, and they're like, "You like really helped me out with that," and or they connect you with somebody else, and so like being there for people in these moments when they need it is my business development. Like it is my, I don't know. It's what I want. It's hard to say like you want to be known for it, but it's just what I do. I think some people make ads and they go to networking events. I'm just in my contacts and shortlist people on my phone. Like I'm just, when someone's like, I'm like, here we go. Let's go. Let's roll. I'll drop everything I'm doing. But again, that means that my stuff slides, which means my family stuff it eats into that.
Mm-hmm.
I said that like 3 times now, but all of that to say, I'm packed because tomorrow at noon, I'm shutting it down. There is no more work being done. We're having family time because I will be away until 5 days, right? We'll be away for 5 days.
That was the best. Sorry to interrupt, but I've never done that before where we've had this plan for what? I forget. It was since like
3 months.
3 months. I forgot about it all 3 months. I just completely out of my mind, out of sight. And then I was talking to you like a week ago, and you were like, you texted me last week. You were
7
like,
days.
we're leaving. Like, this is what time our flight leaves next week. And I was like, holy crap. I got to take a pee break, but I do want to keep going. I thought it was pretty funny. We should try it out. And
Guess the face. remember that game?
It wasn't it, but I dare you to try with me. Let's see if we can do it.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know how to like discoordinate my top half from my bottom
Right.
half. Like,
Was that it?
yeah, all right. What I thought in my head was I saw this thing where go on your phone, look up Florida man, and then put in your birthday, and whatever shows up, that's your spirit animal. That's your guy right there. Florida man attacked by neighborhood squirrel who has residents on high alert was the first one that showed up for me.
Florida man breaks into a woman's house, sits on her couch, and makes a sandwich. Actually, I made the last word up. I'm hoping it says sandwich. Oh, it says makes unusual request.
The Trailer Park Boys podcast was like
Oh, yeah?
Park After Dark.
Do they talk?
Yeah, they stay in character. And they just like basically bring up like articles like that. Of, like, so yeah, last week a Florida man wrestled an alligator, and then I don't know, just random stuff. And
Yeah.
they all talk about it and in character. Dude, it's the funniest
Ricky.
thing ever.
You know, my perspective on that show has got to be like the reason why I enjoyed so much is the raunchiest show ever that I've ever watched. I know people talk about some raunchy stuff on HBO, and you haven't seen Game of Thrones? You gotta watch Game of Thrones. You haven't seen Game of Thrones. It's like never have, never will. But like Trailer Park Boys is so real. Like, like it can. I don't know. You can see past it. And you're like, these are real people. Like these guys exist. Like they're down the street from me. Like
I know. That's why, oh man, it is raunchy. It's probably not good to watch because the language is so foul, but it is so funny sometimes. It's real. It's funny. I pick up a lot of sayings. Ricky has like a limited vocabulary. He likes to make up words.
Yes.
And that was my thing for a while. I got responsibles now. Let's say that.
sponsor. Yes, that is what it is. It is all he says. Like yeah, he just.
Responsibles. What did you
It's not like Rugrats. The Rugrats do responsibilities.
What did Ricky say the other day? He's like, I hate to say it, but a toe-to-so.
I told us. Yeah.
A toe-to-so. Anyways.
People can come up and tell you you're a great guy. Ben, you're really compassionate. He really thinks about it. He's just always out there. He's just such a good guy out in the woods, just walking around. Like, but you won't believe those things until you do them, are them, and like you have consistency in them.
Yeah.
Such a charitable.
Confidence is, it affects a lot.
Yeah.
Subliminally.
Everything.
Yeah, pretty much everything. And you don't realize, like, like sometimes I'll get on a mic or public speaking or whatever, and you have so many fudge ups in the first like 10 minutes, and you just you just go down the hill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't even come back from this. It's because you didn't build up that confidence. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that goes for a lot of stuff. But if you go into it confident, like, oh, this is what I want to do.
Just
This is the
own it.
game plan. You own it. Exactly. Then most of the times I'm able to ride that out and have a pretty good session, regardless of what it is. Skateboarding.
Got you.
Same thing with skateboarding. Some days I show up, I feel like I could do anything. And I am not like an amazing or even good skateboarder to say the least, but some days I just show up and I'm feeling it, man. Like I'll try whatever. Who cares about falling down and getting hurt? And those are some of the best days when you hop on your board and you're just feeling invincible.
Yeah.
And then you show up some days and like, I can't even like do an ollie, or I mess up the simplest things. And where I used to be like, oh, I'm just leaving. I brought my gimbal rig and my camera to the park the other day. It was the most fun I've had in the longest time. Because I skated a little bit for myself just to break the rust off. But I sat down and watched, and I met these two guys. I'm trying to think of this one guy's name. I follow him on Instagram. Anyways, he's really good. He was doing some gnarly stuff, and I felt confident in my camera abilities and in my rig that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to go. I was like, dude, you're really good. Like, I would love to get some footage of you. And he was all for it. And yeah, that felt awesome.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm not one to go up to random
Right.
people and be like, hi, my name's Ben. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
I make
kind of
videos.
just speak to myself, keep to myself. But that day I was breaking out of my shell, and it's going to make me a lot more confident and comfortable for next time.
I don't know, I feel like that's your baseline. I know you say you wake up at certain days and they're just not having it, but like your baseline is like, hey man, it's gonna be.
It's going to be all right. Yeah, that is my baseline. I did pretty well with that. And yeah, for trips, I have this thing where it's like, I'll worry about the little stuff. And even with this trip, I'll worry about, I got to make sure I have my extra batteries all charged up and all this little tedious stuff. But at the end of the day, I'll just look at myself and be like, all right, I got my phone, my wallet, undies. I'll be good. I can survive. Like
survive.
That's all I need for this trip. As long as I have my passport, my wallet, and my phone, I'll be good.
You will make it out.
Yeah.
100%.
But I'm pumped. I think you're gonna see a side of me that's like, dude, this guy on drugs or what? Like, what's going on? Now I'm high on life, baby. I'm feeling good.
It's a real thing, and it takes time if you don't go out and feel it. Like I've had a lot of these trips where you they don't go well, like they don't go to plan, and you are like, I'm never leaving my house again because this is awful. And but I've never been west, and it not like changed my life.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, we're going on this trip, and then I forgot where we're going on this trip. We're going to Oregon, California.
Yeah.
My brain's not braining anymore.
Well done, brother. The point is that we
We got practicing.
said what we were gonna do, and we did it.
Got practicing.